Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and in this video guys, we are going to be comparing Anime World Tower Defense and All-Star Tower Defense. Now I got over here 5 categories that we're going to be discussing to see which of these games is better. Now obviously all these categories come into my opinion, but I tried to be non-biased in this video and give my real thoughts on which game I think is better out of the two. But of course, you're free to disagree and comment down below which game you agree, you disagree, especially with these categories. Don't just hate in the comment because I said your game is not my favorite. So let's just go ahead and get started. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's go. So first thing we're going to start talking about is new players. So which of these games is better for a person that has never played any of these games before? Now, in my opinion, I would give this to Anime World Tower Defense because All-Star is already very far. You got multiple worlds, you got a lot of different types of units, a lot of different game modes, and like, of course, this is not the developer's fault. Like, the game has to move forward. But for somebody who's completely new to these type of games, for example, loading into All-Star Tower Defense, it can be extremely overwhelming and it can be actually very annoying. I'd say this because I have a lot of friends who never played it before, and when I try to get them to play it, they quit because there was just too much and you just felt like you were way behind out of everybody else, because you are, but it's just so big, the difference, that you just honestly feel demotivated to play the game. But again, this is not really something the devs can control because, the game has to move forward for the late game players. For Anime World Tower Defense, this problem kinda exists, but I feel like it's less because the game obviously is a little bit newer, so the game obviously doesn't have as much content, but it is very confusing as well for beginners because you have a lot of different mechanics. You got the different banners, you got the evolutions, you got the craftables, you got the abyss, the infinite mode, the events. You guys get it. You got a bunch of different stuff that you need to know, but I do think that All-Star has a lot of mechanics that even myself, a player who has played All-Star for a while, have a lot of mechanics that I still don't understand, but obviously that's because I don't play it every day. I don't keep up with All-Star Tower Defense. But I do think that for a beginner player who has never played this game, Anime World Tower Defense is a better game for that, because like I said again, I have a friend who literally started playing Anime World Tower Defense last week, and he liked the game because it was easy for you to get into. It's easy for you to get some solid units at the beginning, so you can get started and progress and evolve those units. So moving on, that's the first point for Anime World Tower Defense. The second point is going to go to All-Star, which is creativity. Now, the reason why I give creativity to All-Star, even though Anime World Tower Defense does have a lot of unique things like Hakari's luck system or the miracle crafting and everything like that, the certain units that have clickable abilities that are very creative, I do think All-Star takes creativity here because All-Star was really the first anime tower defense, so they really had nobody to base this off of. Everything that we see today in other tower defenses are all inspired by All-Star. So All-Star is the one who came up with the orbs, the infinite modes, the farm modes, certain units with the clickable abilities. All-Star came up with all of that, so the creativity definitely goes to them because they are the ones who started these ideas, and other developers only came in to step up from them. Because I remember clickable abilities were something that All-Star created, because at the time Ultimate Tower Defense was the only tower defense really competing with All-Star. It didn't have that. Anime Adventures came after. I'm not counting that. I'm talking about the beginning. When we got 6 stars, which were evolving units, that was something that All-Star created. So All-Star has always been there with the new ideas. So All-Star is definitely going to take when it comes to creativity, because again, they had nobody to base any of this off of. They were all being creative and updating the game, adding new things. So that's 1-1, Anime World Tower Defense and All-Star. Next one is going to go to Anime World Tower Defense, which is free to play friendly. Now this one is pretty obvious. Now I'm not saying that All-Star is pay to win, but it is extremely more hard to get gems in All-Star than it is to get puzzles, let's say, in Anime World Tower Defense. Anime World Tower Defense always has the banner system where they're always there and you can just choose which one you want to spin on, the pity saves, so no matter what unit you want, you can get them at any time, so much easier, and the puzzles are always coming in left and right. So for a beginner, it is so much easier to just get the unit you want with those puzzles than it is in All-Star, because in All-Star, I'm not saying it is pay to win, but you do gotta, it's a little bit harder for you to grind for those gems, so a lot of people do end up buying them. Also, Anime World Tower Defense, I really don't see a reason for you to spend any Robux at all unless you want to buy the VIP, because it's going to give you some discounts and stuff. But other than the VIP, you don't have to spend Robux on anything. All-Star also did have those Robux eggs a while ago, or like, not eggs, I don't know what you want to call them, but like they had eggs for them back in the Easter event. They had eggs, so whatever you guys want to call them, but you guys get the points, the one that you can get a unit from or you can get some skins from, where you could also unlock it, but you can also buy with Robux. So, you know, there's a couple things in All-Star that you can pay Robux because obviously the devs need to make money, but Anime World Tower Defense is just a lot more free-to-play friendly, and it's also less of a grind. So again, new players who don't want to spend Robux don't have to spend money to try to get those meta units, to try and spin for whoever they want in the shop. They got it really easily. They really don't have to spend money in this game at all. The only times I spent money in this game were to get the VIP and to get the Christmas coins once, but that's because I didn't want to grind, but I easily could have grinded and gotten those. I didn't need to buy them. So that's going to go to Anime World Tower Defense. So right now it's 2-1 Anime World Tower Defense. For units, I'm going to have to put it at tie. What do I mean by this? I mean how creative the units are, how unique the units are, and everything like that. A big problem with certain tower defenses that I've played in the past is that a lot of units just felt exactly like each other. They just changed the skin. But these games, no. All-Star Tower Defense, every unit is unique. They got the clickable abilities. Some of them got animations like the Hantengu unit. While in Anime World Tower Defense, you do got some... I'm pretty sure I said Anime World Tower Defense twice. Whatever. Anime World Tower Defense, you do got also another creative units. Like, for example, Nobara. I would never expect the game to add Nobara as a heal unit, especially with that clickable ability that she has. Or Hakari with his domain expansion. Those are the ones that are just coming to mind right now. The total ability that you need to get 120 million damage first. So there is a lot of creativity when it comes to the units to make them unique. So I'm going to have to give it a tie. So right now it's just 2-1 for Anime World Tower Defense. And then lastly, we have which game is more fun, which obviously this one is gonna depend which game you play more of. But I do think that Anime World Tower Defense is less of a grind fun. I mean, like, you can get this game on and play for fun, but at the same time, I do remember the good old days that I had in All-Star. If we were talking about All-Star from a while ago, definitely give it more fun to All-Star, because I could play this game for hours and hours and hours with my friends, infinite modes and things like that. But nowadays, I just don't like the game anymore that much. So for me personally, I would put the fun at just Anime World Tower Defense to play the game for fun. But I can see why people would say for All-Star. So in my list personally, this list would end with 3 points to Anime World Tower Defense, which were for new players, free-to-play friendly, and fun. All-Star gets 1 point for creativity, and they tie when it comes to units. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, if you disagree, you're free to do that. You're free to have your own opinion. It's just how I think. I'm going to be ending this video here. Goodbye.